In the beginning of this story, we are shown a medical student named Mary Mission. Mary was a very promising girl in her studies, but due to being alone in such a big city, she was facing a lot of problems in paying her college fees. Her professor, whose name was Dr. Ground, used to scold Mary for not paying attention in her class. Mary often used to settle the matter by apologizing to him, but Dr. Ground believed that sorry is a big word for a surgeon, and he believed one should never use it unnecessarily. He says that there is no room for error in this profession, and from next time, don't bring a phone to my class. Firstly, the shortage of money, and secondly, the calls from the loan department had made her life miserable. Forget about paying the fees, she did not even have money to buy groceries for the next week. When Mary comes home, she finds out that the telephone service people had disconnected her phone line due to non-payment of bill, and soon the electricity of her house was also going to be cut. Mary had only one way left to earn money. She had been trying to avoid it for a long time, but who can avoid destiny? Mary applies for a bar girl job on an adult website. They make the girls do a lot of work, but Mary wants to earn money by showing her body and not by selling her soul. So she applies only for those jobs where no one touches her body. After mailing a man, she is called for an interview. Here, Mary meets a man named Billy Barker, and this man was the one who used to give money to the girls working for the bar. Billy comes to know that Mary is studying to become a doctor, and she wants to do this job to pay for her living expenses and college fees. He wanted to see if she is fat, so he asks her to take off her clothes. Mary was perfect for the job, so he hired her. While Billy was questioning him, Billy's partner intervenes and asks Mary that you are a doctor, right? How much knowledge do you have about human surgery? Mary tells him that she has a lot of knowledge about it, but she has not yet gotten a degree. Billy takes Mary with him to the basement and tells her that one of our men is a little injured. If you treat him, I will give you $5,000. Mary had also come here to earn $1,000 a week, but she was getting $5,000 a night, so she could not refuse, and she said excitedly agrees. We see that Billy's goons had beaten a man completely and left him half dead, and she has to save the life of this man. The man was writhing in pain. Mary saved his life by cleaning his blood and tying bandages on his legs, but after that, she locked herself in a room and cried aloud. She could not believe that there are such ruthless people in this world who can beat up anyone. Her first meeting with them was no less than a shock, and out of fear, she sleeps in her own house with a baseball bat in her hand. Mary gets a call from an unknown number on her phone. There was a girl on the phone who introduced herself as Beatrice. She wanted to meet her, but Mary told her it is a wrong number and disconnected the call. After some time, someone rang the doorbell of her house. As soon as Mary turned back, she saw a girl standing in front of her. This was the same girl with whom Mary was talking on the phone a little time ago. Beatrice used to work in Billy's club, but she had not come to Mary for that work. She says, I need your help. I have heard that you are a doctor. Mary thought that she wanted to get her treatment done cheaply, but it was not so. The lady had a lot of money to afford the best doctors. She pays her $200 just to listen to her. She says that there is a girl who needs to undergo a special kind of surgery, and I will give you $10,000 for that. Mary also wanted to know what kind of surgery was it that only she could perform and not the best doctors in the world. But Beatrice wanted her to come and see it for herself once, and she paid her $2,000 just to accompany her. Mary discovers that he has to remove a girl's genitals through surgery. The name of this girl is Ruby, and her dream was to become a walking human doll. She underwent many surgeries to become a doll, and most of them were successful. Now, because dolls do not have private parts, so she wanted to get her genitals removed as well. Mary could not believe that such extra people exist in this world, although she was ready to do surgery on her. She operates on her private parts and makes her like a doll. Now she did not look like any other girl. Her body was completely transformed. She gives some medicines to Beatrice and told her not to tell her name and information to any other of her friends. Their conversation ended here. Saying this, she takes her money and leaves from there. She had earned a lot of money in the last 2 days, and now she was very happy. She had no worries of any kind. That is why she was participating in the classes with great enthusiasm. Dr. Walsh was very interested in her work, and he was sure that in future, people would recognize her as a good doctor. When Mary goes outside the hospital during college break, we see that Beatrice was waiting for her outside. Mary says that I had forbidden you from meeting me, and how did you get my address? But Beatrice did not want anything from her. She just came with a gift which Ruby had asked her to give to Mary. Ruby thanked Mary for the surgery. Beatrice says Ruby wants you to visit her website once and see the beauty of your own surgery. On the other side, we see Dr. Ground and Dr. Walsh, who are talking to each other about Mary. Dr. Walsh tells Mary that tonight we have organized a small party at Ground's house, and we want you to be a part of our celebration. Mary says yes to him, after which Dr. Walsh tells her the address of Ground's house. In the evening, Mary opens the website mentioned by the Beateries and finds some pictures of Ruby's post-surgery. She had done a cosmetic surgery for the first time and was very proud of herself for its results. But as soon as she goes a little further down, we see that many people have posted their body modification photos, and they look very horrible. She did not know that people in the world are so insecure about their bodies that they get such dangerous surgeries done without any fear. After this, she goes to Dr. Ground's party. A lot of people had come there, and Mary realizes that this party was not just for doctors. People of all kinds had come here. Dr. Ground starts talking to Mary. At first, he was just talking about her college, but slowly he starts asking her personal questions. He had mixed a sedative in Mary's drink, due to which she loses her senses. Dr. Ground takes her to his room and rapes her that night. He was also making a video of Mary to blackmail her later. Mary wakes up the next morning, and she does not remember anything about last night, but she knew that Dr. Ground raped her. She comes to her house and starts crying loudly. She wanted to take revenge from Ground, so she goes to Billy and requests him to kidnap Dr. Ground. He does the same and hands him over to Mary. Dr. Ground had never imagined in his dreams that he would have to see this because of his actions, and what was going to happen to him now was even more horrific. She was going to do every kind of surgery on Doctor's body, which were possible to do on the human body, and in this way, she took her revenge from Dr. Ground. After a few days, a detective comes to meet her. He asks her to answer some questions about the disappearance of Dr. Ground. The detective came to her because Dr. Walsh had given him a list of some girls, and Mary's name was included in that list. The detective tells him that we have come to know about the excessive sexual nature of Dr. Ground. Did he do something like this to you as well? But Mary denies any such behavior of the doctor and says that he was a very good man. Hearing this, the detective leaves from there, but still he was doubting her words somewhere. After this, Mary goes to meet Billy and asks him if he has any work for her, like someone's surgery, or if someone needs to be given stitches. But Billy tells her that now we have stopped beating people in such a way that they need to be given stitches. Billy had changed a lot from before, and he had probably started liking Mary. Mary told him about the policeman and Dr. Walsh. Billy was ready to kill Dr. Walsh for her, but Mary refused to do so because she was not sure whether the doctor already knew about the bad intentions of Dr. Ground. Both Mary and Beatrice had become very good friends of each other. Mary goes to meet Ruby. She wanted to see how she looks after her surgery, but Ruby had gone out for some work. Mary sees Ruby's husband's photo there and finds out that Ruby was cheating on her husband. Because of her surgeries, Mary became very famous among some people. People started knowing her as Bloody Mary, and almost every day someone or the other would get weird modifications of their body done by her. Some wanted to get their tongue cut, some needed a breast implants. One day, two twin sisters come to meet her. These sisters believed that even though their bodies are separate, their souls are connected to each other. They went to exchange their right hand with their bodies so that their bodies too get joined. They give a drawing to Mary and say, "That make the bodies of both of us like this drawing." At this point, Mary never said no to anyone. Whoever wanted whatever, she gave it to them, no matter how impossible the surgery was, even if it may lead to someone's death. She could not do this alone, so she takes the help of another doctor, and this impossible surgery is carried out. On the other hand, we see that Mary had kept Dr. Grant alive till now. He was useful to her because she wanted to show the world that behind this anonymous name, she could perform any seemingly impossible surgery. She had put a knife in Grant's mouth, and after cutting off his hands and legs, he was hung from a hockey stick. While Mary was clicking pictures, a security guard attacks her. She does not understand where he came from, but whoever he was, he could not see Dr. Ground in such a state, and he tries to save him. Meanwhile, Mary attacks him and the poor guy also gets killed. Mary also killed Dr. Ground in the fight and thus became a complete psychopath. After destroying all the evidences, Mary goes to her home. She gets a lot of money in exchange for the surgery of the 2 girls on whom she had operated. The number of Mary's clients kept increasing, and she became a well-known name in the world of illegal surgery. Meanwhile, Detective wanted to talk to Mary about Dr. Ground. He comes to her house and tells her that, like Dr. Ground, Dr. Walsh has also disappeared. Mary is very surprised to know this because she had not done anything with the Dr. Walsh. The detective also found out that these 2 doctors used to call girls to parties and do bad things with them. He also got tape recordings made by them. He knew that they had done something wrong with Mary too, but if Mary had told him the truth, she would have been directly suspected of making them both disappear. That is why she pretends to be unaware even after knowing everything. Further, we are told that Dr. Walsh was kidnapped by Billy. He also had Mary's tape recording. Seeing it, he gets very angry, and he kills Dr. Walsh. On the other side, we see Ruby's husband. He looked very happy today, but when he finds out that Ruby has had her genetics removed through surgery, he goes mad with anger. Mary goes to meet Billy and sees that he is getting intimate with another girl and gets very jealous of this, which shows that maybe she too has started liking him somewhere. Mary asks him about Dr. Walsh, but Billy lies to her that he has no hand in his disappearance. He says, "Why would I kill him for you?" Mary knew he was lying, and he didn't appreciate people who lied. Meanwhile, Mary notices the girl who is getting physical with Billy. She follows her into the bathroom and takes out all her surgery tools. The girl was hiding behind the gate and watching her do this, and understands that she has come to kill her. Mary attacks the girl, but then her eyes fall on the CCTV camera installed in the bathroom. She did not want the murders committed by her to be caught on CCTV, so she gives her a warning and spares her life. The next day, Mary goes to meet Billy again, but this time, Billy is avoiding her gaze. He is afraid of Mary due to her increasing psychopathic symptoms. Mary finds out that Beateries has stopped working, and she has not been picking up Billy's phone for a long time. When she comes home, she gets a call from Beateries. We see that Ruby's husband had beaten Beateries badly, and now he is after the lives of those who brainwashed his wife into the surgery. Beateries called out to warn her, but unfortunately, it was already too late. We then see Ruby's husband attacking Mary and injuring her severely. They engage in a scuffle, and Mary ends up killing him. However, she is badly hurt in the process. She tries to reach for the tools to stitch up her wounds, but she lost an excessive amount of blood. The next morning, we see a lot of police and ambulance outside her house. The detective finds a lot of evidences in Marie's house, which shows that Mary was behind the murder of Dr. Ground. On the other hand, we see Mary, who struggled a lot to keep herself alive throughout the night, but she died while treating her wounds. With this, the movie ends here. I hope you like this story. Thank you for watching the video.